Live visual performance runs on hardware. A video jockey can manipulate dozens of graphical layers in real time using a physical controller board stacked with faders, dials, and glowing pads. But there is a massive liability baked into this setup. The software rules connecting those physical buttons to the digital actions are completely invisible. When a performer reaches for a dial in the middle of a live show, they have no immediate way of knowing if that physical control is pointing to the right digital target, the correct MIDI channel, or even the intended visual effect. They press it and they hope. Now try verifying that fragile connection map across an Akai APC40 mkII board. It has 148 distinct physical controls. Manually checking every single one of those pathways, one by one, before every gig, is a logistical nightmare. Because the performer is effectively flying blind, a tool designed for spontaneous creativity becomes a rigid source of anxiety. If the mapping breaks, you don't find out until the moment you need it on stage. This Reddit thread suggested mapping 8 controller knobs to a dashboard, automatically wiring functionality when a preset loads. The original poster realized a preset could carry self-contained mappings and validated using a spreadsheet manifest so an AI could verify changes. That exchange triggered a larger pivot. Instead of applying this trick to just 8 knobs, the goal expanded to the entire board. The plan was to build a complete visual twin inside Resolume, an on-screen interface where every single physical fader, dial, and pad visually explains its own mapping status in real time. The realization triggered a high-speed engineering sprint. The goal was to build a self-documenting setup, one that provided verifiable proof of its own reliability with every move of the hardware. To pull this off, the project relied on a strict division of labor. A human dictated the creative layout and physical realities of the hardware. Meanwhile, AI agents were assigned the grueling, high-volume bookkeeping needed to write the software's XML shortcut files. Physical buttons don't translate to digital rules one-to-one. A continuous slider requires 3 mappings: wake, opacity, and motion. Across the hardware board, 148 physical controls demand exactly 203 software shortcut records. The AI agents parsed the dense MIDI addresses, where different tracks reuse the exact same note numbers across different channels, and instantly generated those required rules into a clean, deterministic XML file. But offloading the coding to an agent introduces a new hurdle. You now have a massive, generated file, and you have to mathematically prove that its digital logic actually matches the physical reality of the hardware. Software code can look perfect on a screen, while failing entirely on stage. Resolume Avenue caches its saved states, meaning a successful write command from AI doesn't guarantee the application updated. The only way to verify the system is by physically pushing the hardware. The project required a strict hardware-in-the-loop testing protocol. The human operator had to reboot the software from a clean state and physically sweep every single one of the 28 continuous controls, from top to bottom, to ensure the digital witnesses tracked the movement without overlapping. This visual map shows what that manual testing uncovered. Not every light on the board behaves the same way. By pressing the physical keys, the operator proved standard rotary knobs need white witnesses, solo buttons require blue, and record arm indicators use dedicated red. This established the defining rule of the workflow. The AI agents managed the repetitive data entry and scale of the spreadsheet, while the human operator retained the final authority over the physical truth of the hardware. The result of this process is an accepted build, backed by 63 automated tests and verified by a cryptographic hash. The physical controller and its digital twin are successfully synced. You tap a grid pad on the hardware, and the exact spatial counterpart instantly lights up on the monitor in matching amber or green. Muscle memory becomes a visual debugging tool. The same precise mirroring applies to the continuous controls. Turn the tempo knob, which requires a specialized relative motion step rather than absolute values, and you watch the digital UI witness physically rotate in perfect synchronization on the screen. The finished Resolume composition now operates in 3 distinct ways. It acts as a performance heads-up display, so the artist knows what they are touching, a virtual stream deck mapped directly to the hardware, and a live automated testing bench that proves its own structural integrity. Merging community insight with machine-scale bookkeeping and human verification established a reusable framework. The project forces any opaque controller to step out of the shadows and explain exactly what it is doing.